Weather's been pretty nice. Has everybody been enjoying it? Or are you like my husband, where you're sneezing all the time and there's pollen everywhere covering your car? Is Margarita has to blow her nose? Perfect timing.
Yeah, if weather's here is nice, allergies aren't so kind.
Yeah, I know. My husband has pretty bad allergies, so he's constantly upset when, well, I guess he's not upset, but when the weather fluctuates, his sinuses don't cooperate. I feel bad for him. Last week, the last couple of weeks, my car had like a thin layer of pollen over it, and I was like, "Oh, I understand why you're not feeling great now." Has anybody else experienced that? Yeah.
Yeah. My wife is allergic to lice in general.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, this it's just a never ending, okay, what seasonal allergy are we facing today?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope she gets some relief soon.
Yeah, she's learned to live with it.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys reach for when you have the allergy attacks? What do you usually grab? You get
Xyzal,
sneeze and blow your nose. What was that?
Xyzal.
Ah, so you're going for the actual medication. Okay. What about if you just have a sneeze? What do you go for? Gotta blow your nose.
For sneezes, um, oh, I forgot the name of it.
The nasal sprays work really well for us.
Oh, to help clear it out?
Yeah, and then we have one of those, big sinus vacuums, I call them, where it flushes everything out because you have to just continuously, like,
Yeah, like a neti pot or something.
yeah, it's not the neti pot, it's a different one, but yeah, it's just you have to constantly keep it cleaned out, I think. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get her to try the local honey trick where you
Yes.
take a teaspoon of local honey every day and it's supposed to help immunize you kind of to the allergens.
Yeah, we've done that too. My husband has had some success with that.
You can even do it for your dogs.
Ooh, good tip.
Mm-hmm.
Try that one too. All right, so what happens when you guys sneeze? What's your favorite tissue paper that you keep on hand?
The always the lotion kind. Otherwise,
Anybody else? Lotion? What brand do you usually go for?
Kleenex.
Kleenex? Any other brands that you guys like to use out there? We're talking about our favorite brands of tissue paper. Thanks for hopping on, everybody. We got Kleenex so far. We're talking about allergy season, how the pollen is everywhere, everybody's sneezing. Anna said that Kleenex is her favorite. What about everybody else? Feel free to put it in the chat or come off mute and tell us your favorite tissue paper brand. Ooh, that's the only one that we can think of? Okay. Well, you guys are in the right spot because today we're going to be talking about successful multi-touch plans and how to lay a strong foundation for them. Can everybody see my screen okay? Yep. And this was my guess of which two brands were going to be top of your mind. I see giggles. Thanks for laughing and playing along. In all reality, I do hope that everybody is not battling seasonal allergies right now and enjoying the weather. But I did guess that Kleenex and Puffs were the two brand names that would come up today. And today it was actually just Kleenex. We didn't even get Puffs in there. And the reason I like to go over this type of stuff at the beginning of class is because we can actually only recall 2 to 3 brands easily and quickly at any given moment. And we only came up with one for Kleenex. Same idea with, like, nobody says go search the internet. They say go Google something or ChatGPT now. They don't say I'm gonna go make a copy. They'll say I'm gonna go make a Xerox, right? Same concept. We want you to be the agent that is top of mind. You've got the mind share of your database. So I hope that that is what you guys are looking to learn from this series, because that is what we're talking about today, just the foundation of that. I'm Amy Stack. I am your new regional tech trainer for the Mid-American region. Just a little bit about me. I've been with Keller Williams a little over 8 years. I've been in real estate almost 13. I'm a realtor myself. I'm an investor and a labs advisor. Does anybody in here know what a labs advisor is or what we do? Let me open up my chat. There's the chat. Oh, Puffs came up in the chat. Thanks, Heather. I missed that earlier. Got the chat open now. So labs advisors it's actually a volunteer position, and there's, I think, 100 to 150 of us around the whole company. And we actually act kind of as a liaison between the agent and the tech development team. So we give feedback on products. We get to beta test new features before they come out and give our thoughts on if the agents will like it or how we can improve it for your use. We also do stuff for the leadership side for Command MC as well. So I am a labs advisor too. I'm also a wife, I'm a dog mom, and I'm an aunt. I now have 2 nieces and 3 nephews from 3 months old to 12 years old. So that's a little bit about me. Heather, you look confused. Like, is this new information? All right. So our objective today is to understand what a multi-touch plan is and why it's an integral piece of your business. We're going to walk away with a 28 touch plan you can implement immediately and learn how you can get up to 50 touches pretty easily for your database for every year so that you are the person that they're always thinking about when anything real estate related comes up, and they will either come to you for their transactions or refer you when somebody in their life needs some help. Has anybody heard of the laws of the database before? It's in this lovely book here. If you can see I got a little note on there. It's in the MREA book. I don't know what page. Oh, here we go. If you don't have the MREA, make sure you talk to your leadership team about how to get a copy. This has got the whole guide of how to run your real estate business in there. But the model of the laws of the database are build it. So you got to put some content in there, put your contacts in, put your people in. You got to feed it daily, meaning you got to keep building it. It's not just one and done. You don't just dump them in. So you're going to constantly be adding more people to the database. You want to touch it in a systematic way, and you want to service all leads that come your way. So what part of the law of the database do you think we're focusing on today? Go ahead and put it in the chat or come off mute. Anna put touch. Good guess. I even made it a different color for you. Hint, it's highlighted. That is absolutely right. We're going to be talking about how we can touch it in a systematic way. So this is a proven method for you to get more business. If you weren't aware, 75% of our business is lost due to a lack of follow-up. We know that customers say they would use their realtor again about 70 to 80% of the time. However, less than 20% typically do. And that's because we're not following up with them. They forget who we are. They lose our contact information. They don't realize we're still in the business. So how do we prevent that? We got to stay top of mind, right? All right, at this point in the game here, we're going to do a little bit of math. So if you guys could get pen and paper, and I'm going to ask you to either put some information in the chat, or you can come off mute and share if you're comfortable doing that as well. I see a lot of you have your cameras on. I very much appreciate that. If anybody else is off camera and would like to come on, I'd love to see your face. We do want to have some interaction today. So the first thing we're going to focus on is go ahead and write down your goal. How much money do you want to make a year in real estate? Go ahead and write that down. If you feel like sharing it in the chat, go ahead and do that as well. Okay. Everybody got that number down? See some people looking back up at the camera again? Okay. Now I want you to think about what is your average commission? And if you don't know, if you're newer to the business, your market center has an average commission, so you can use your market center number as well. And if you don't know what it is off the top of your head, what you want to do is take your average sales price and multiply it by the percentage of commission you typically take. So does anybody want to shout out or put in the chat what a good average sales price could be? What's the average sales price in your market or your personal average sales price? D, thank you. 35 or 35. Whew, 350,000. Just added an extra zero for you. Perfect. So if you guys don't know what your average sales price in your market is, go ahead and use that $350,000 metric for now, and you can always touch base with your leadership team to find out what that is later if you don't know your local one. So we'll use 350,000 as the average sales price of a property. And then go ahead and multiply that by the percentage that you usually charge your clients. So D put average commission of $87.50. Great. So she did her sales price times her percentage and came up with $87.50. So that's the number we'll work from. Thanks for putting that in the chat, D. So now we're going to look at the bottom corner of the slide here that says deals in your data bank. So if you take the number of contacts in your database and you multiply it by 6%, because on average, about 6% of our database is giving us a transaction, whether it's the person themselves having a sale or a purchase, or it's them referring a friend, family, coworker to you, about 6% of the people in your database will convert if you're constantly in touch with them. So go ahead and find the number of contacts, or guess if you aren't quite 100% sure what that is off the top of your head. Well, we can work with a guesstimate for today. And then multiply that number by 6%, so 0.06. So D, if you don't mind, do you know how many contacts are in your database? Can we use your number for this equation as well? Oh, I'm not seeing anything. I can always pull up mine. Who knows?
I have Amy. This is Sharif. I have
Hey,
1,200.
Sharice.
Hey.
How many do you have? Sorry.
1,200.
1,200. Okay. So if we take 1,200 times 6%, Sharice should be getting 72 transactions out of her database if she's focusing on it and staying in front of them consistently and with value.
Oh, Charisse.
Ooh, definitely room
So-
for improvement. I'm learning.
Exactly. So a lot of people take this number and say exactly what Sharice said. They're like, ooh, I should be doing something different because maybe I'm paying for leads because I think I don't have enough leads. I don't have enough people, right? Doing this math will show you if you actually do have enough people to hit your goals or not. And if you don't, then we need to look at some more lead gen levers to get you some more contacts in your database. If you do have enough to hit your goal, that means we need to just come up with a strong plan to stay in front of your data bank. So what we want to do now is we have a goal that you wrote down to start with. We have our average commission, which Dee did the math for us for her area of $87.50. And then we have deals in your data bank. So let's say Sharice and Dee are in the same area. That would mean that 72 deals times $87.50 is a gross commission of $630,000. Woo! I see you're doing the happy dance over there. So if your goal is less than $630,000, you're good. You just need to work that database. If your goal is over $630,000, that means we have a little bit of a gap there and we need to find some other ways to generate more leads. Does anybody have questions about how to figure out if you have enough contacts in your database to hit your annual gross commission goal? Does anybody care to share? How about we just put yes or no in the chat? Do you have enough people in your database right now to hit your goal? Yes or no? Kathy does. Anna does not. Ooh, lots of yeses. Okay, so for those of you with yes, we're going to talk about how to stay in front of them. For those of you with no, there's a couple in there. Are you hitting the number in your database, just from your database, that you could be already? So like, let's say you have a goal that really needs 50 transactions and you have 40 that should be coming from your database. Are you hitting the 40? It looks like that was Thomas and Anna, I think, said no. Everybody else said yes. So if you two are not hitting the goal, oh, so Thomas said no, he's not quite hitting that number yet. So that means that, again, we want to make sure we're staying in front of that database. So my suggestion is to really get a strong handle on your first lever of lead gen. And then once you're comfortable with that system and flow, then add on your next lever. So if you're not already hitting what you think you should be, that 6% conversion rate, then let's focus on getting in front of those people. These are the people that know, like, and trust us. So it's going to be easier to have the conversations with them. And it's going to be more likely that we'll need less steps to get referrals from them, less touches. Is everybody on the same page with me? I see some head nods. Lovely. Okay. So I'd love to talk about what is a touch. And you guys feel free, please put some examples of what you think a touch could be in the chat while we're going over this section. So a touch can be casual or it can be very direct. It can be a call, text, email. It can be a direct message on social media. It can be a face-to-face conversation. And it's something that's relevant to the person you're communicating with. So what are some things? This is a pretty wide net we're casting for what constitutes a touch to your database. So go ahead and put in the chat or come off mute and let me know, what do you think would be a good example of a touch? I'm seeing newsletter, call and text, letter or postcard in the mail. These are all great. Thank you. Kathy put neighborhood info. Are you talking about the monthly neighborhood nurture, Kathy? Got a thumbs up. Awesome. That's a great touch. Dee said sending out personal cards, texts, calls, networking. Those are all great examples. Birthday cards, said Heather. That's an awesome one as well. It's not even business related. I don't know if you guys noticed, nothing on here says real estate. A touch does not have to be about real estate. It can be celebrating their birthday with them, right? It can be inviting them to a local community event to remind them that you're invested in the local area as well. I see another note card vote here. And then Cherie said going to a community event. Exactly. Reach out to the people that you live in the same area as. And then she also said, Cherie, seasonal, happy spring, summer, etc. Okay? These are all awesome examples. I'm going to give you a little pro tip along with this. Has anybody used tags in their database? Go ahead and put yes or no. Do you use tags to tag your contacts? Got a yes? Lots of yeses. All right, good. You guys are on the right track. For those of you that didn't comment or who haven't used tags, the whole reason you want to do this is to help kind of segment your database, because if we go back a page, remember we said we want that touch to be relevant. So what does relevant mean? That means that it's not something they don't care about. It's not something they're going to send to spam. It's something they're going to want to keep around. If we're talking about a mailer, maybe it's a magnet that's going to go on their fridge with your face on it. So every time they walk by, they're seeing your name. We want to provide something of value and that is relevant. So by using tags in your database, you can help segment who the different people are. If you're sending something about a local event, but somebody in your database is out of state, you probably don't want to tell them I'm in the Chicago suburbs. I don't necessarily want to share with them what's going on in the city for the 4th of July because they don't care. They're in Austin, Texas, right? Or wherever they may be. So I have put together a list of some different ways you could tag people. And if anybody is using tags that they think is working really well for them, I would love for you to put what type of tag it is in the chat so we can share while I go over this little section here. So targeted marketing is one way you can use a tag. So you can tag by their geographic location. That's like what I just said. I personally have mine tagged as hyperlocal, Illinois, and out of state. This has an example of also using neighborhoods or zip codes or cities. We can do interest-based tagging. So if you are a dog lover, I told you I'm a dog mom, maybe I'm going to do a dog costume contest or a pet parade or something. I might want to tag all the people that I know that also have dogs or are dog lovers so that when I organize an event like that, I can quickly get in front of those people. And I don't necessarily want to send it to people that don't have pets because they don't care. That's not relevant to them. Another example on here is golf enthusiast, right? So what are the things they like to do? What are the things you like to do? Think about that. Tracking and communication, so you can use tags for email only, phone preferred, do not contact to make it easy for you to see at a glance how to best communicate with them. Because again, if you're not communicating with them how they want to be communicated with, you're not being relevant. Event tags, or event invitations. A lot of people do events as part of a lead gen lever or a client touch. So if you want to be tracking how you have interacted with them with events, whether it's an invitation or maybe you met them there, you could have a whole tagging system around events specifically. Segmenting your database. Who are they? Are they a sphere? Are they a VIP? Maybe they refer you business all the time and you want to treat them differently and do a special event or a special touch just for your VIPs. Maybe you want to give them a Starbucks gift card or a local gift card. A lot of the chambers in our area will do a local gift card where you can use at several of the stores in the downtown area or members of the chamber. So that could be a fun little touch for your VIP clients. You could use past clients. I like to say forever clients, referrals. You can also tag by the role. Are they a vendor, an inspector, a lender? So if you want to partner with one of them at an event or to send out a postcard like we talked about, or to just share some information with them or maybe work on a project with them to come up with a guide for your clients of who is the best person for your clients to reach out to in anything that might be related to real estate, having those tags can really help you pull that list up quickly instead of having to hunt one at a time through your database. We also have transaction type as a suggestion. So if you want to track buyer, seller, bought, sold, I have a lot of people that like to do bought, sold in the year. So bought 2025. So come January of 26, they can look up all of their bought 2025 and bought and sold 2025, and they can send them a thanks for doing business with me this year. Happy New Year. You can also use it for tax touches in the spring. But if you are just doing buyer or seller, sometimes it's harder to break that down to find out what's relevant for the recent year. You also have referral campaigns you can do, as in I want to track who's referring me business and send them thank you notes. Those could be your VIPs as well. And then the last one I have on here is system tags. So those ones are already in the system already. You can't change them, but you can or choose not to use them if you want to. But they're ones that KW thought would be relevant and would be highly used by agents. I did put a couple of other ideas in there, and you can see they don't have a little color with them, and that's because we have 8 colors to choose from for tags. So my suggestion is when you are coming up with your tagging system, if you do have a lot that seem to fall under the same category, like segmenting your database, make them all the same color. Make your event tags all green, anything that's related to events. Make your targeting tags all red, right? So it's easy for you to see at a glance what type of information you have about them. Other ideas I've seen have also been tagging around smart plans and automation or database cleanup. The reason I didn't assign them their own tag in my example is because you can do a lot of that with filters and smart views in contacts. So that's a topic for another day, but if that's something you're unfamiliar with, smart views and filters can really help you segment your database at a high level and make it easy to find people even without a tag in place. And I see we have something in the chat. Dee said, I have tags with the ages of my clients and their children. Should there ever be a need for clothing for folks in our community due to a fire, displacement, or any human need, this helps me sort my contact list quickly. Dee, that's awesome. I've seen people do tags for seniors because they specialize in downsizing. So they want to know when those people are getting to the age range that they are typically becoming empty nesters. So they're tracking, just like Dee said, the kids' age, because if they're in college and moving out, maybe the parents are wanting to downsize. If they're seniors and, excuse me, they might be wanting to start thinking about like estate planning, and they'll do seminars with estate planners and attorneys and tax professionals to help those parents of adults prepare so that if something were to happen, their kids aren't left with all kinds of taxes and everything in probate. So that's a whole nother lead gen opportunity there. But again, great example of how to use the tagging system in your database. So when you're having those types of events, you don't have to hunt and peck through what, Sharice, you had over 1,200 contacts in there? That'd be crazy. That would take a long time. So the tags will help you save a lot of time. And I see there's a QR code we have at the bottom of the screen here. So if you would like to save this as a guide for yourself, you can go ahead and scan that and just save it in your phone or your computer just for some suggestions. Any questions about tags before we go on? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes. We talked about there's some awesome ways to get you to 28 touches right away. The first one I'm gonna throw out here is the monthly neighborhood nurture. Kathy Nosek mentioned that earlier. Is anybody in here familiar with what the monthly neighborhood nurture is? Go ahead and put yes or no in the chat. Do you know what this is? Do you use it? Are you using it? Yes or no in the chat. Are you using the monthly neighborhood nurture? Yes, from Heather. Ooh, Florence, no, good. Okay, this will be fun for you. We're using it, yes and yes. Ooh, Amanda, I know you know what it is. I'm gonna call you later. All right, for those of you that are new to the monthly neighborhood nurture, this is a system that's actually already built in Command. It's a smart plan that already exists. And if you don't have it in your personal smart plan library, you can just go to the KW library and search for monthly neighborhood nurture. What it allows you to do is if you have an email for your client and a neighborhood. Now, if you have an address for somebody, the system will automatically assign the neighborhood, which makes it nice and easy for you. But perhaps you met somebody at an open house, for example, and they gave you their name and phone number and email, but not their address. So you don't know what their address is. You can still, through contacts and command, go ahead and manually assign a neighborhood. And in that case, I know they're looking in the neighborhood the open house was in. I would probably assign that neighborhood to them. And they can look around at other things, but it's just to help, again, stay top of mind and get that touch in there. Then what happens is once you assign them to this monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan, every single month, an email will go out, and based on the neighborhood that they've selected, it will tell them what's going on real estate wise in their market. There's this many sold, active, pending, and it even lets them add additional neighborhoods. And you can add or remove them on your end in command as well. What I really love about this neighborhood nurture is that it's not based on zip code. So every single agent that's part of the MLS has access to pull data based on a zip code. What's unique about the monthly neighborhood nurture is that we've actually partnered with a company called Nextdoor, which, if you're not familiar, is an online neighborhood platform. So the people that live in the neighborhood actually define the area, and they can communicate with each other in the neighborhood. Sometimes there's people that sponsor businesses, they'll have ads in there. Sometimes people talk about local events that are coming up, but what's really cool is that you could have one zip code and you could have 20 neighborhoods in it. Because people don't necessarily care what's going on in real estate 3 miles away from them just because it's the same zip code. They want to know what's going on their block and the couple of blocks around them. So this monthly neighborhood nurture actually allows you to be hyper local and zone in really close on a specific area called a neighborhood. So it is the neighborhoods that are defined through the platform Nextdoor. So you can set this up, and once you set it up once for somebody, it sends every single month automatically with custom content for their neighborhood and your face and contact information on it. So that's a pretty easy touch. 12 touches a year right there. The next thing I wanted to show you was the monthly newsletter. Now that one is not quite as automated. However, I am going to pull up a screen here. Can you guys just see my desktop right now? Whoops, that's the wrong one. All right. You guys see my screen? It has a little firework guide on it. Has everybody seen that? Okay, got a thumbs up. Lovely. So as your regional tech trainer, once a month, I'm creating a client touch for you. This month was the client firework guide. So where I am right now is the MAR Tech Hub. I'm gonna go ahead and hit copy, and I'll paste this in the chat. And I will update that once a month. And this is a little video right here in our Tech Hub that shows you how you can find this firework guide and apply it to your database to send to them, and even how you can make edits if you so desire. All right. So feel free to scan that or grab the link from the chat. But basically, I'm going to make a monthly newsletter for you to send to your people. Now, our region is the entire state of Illinois, a little bit of Wisconsin and Indiana. So I'm making multiple newsletters. It'll be the same topic. Like this month's was all about the fireworks that are on in the area and things to do at 4th of July, but I broke it up into different areas. So there's a Chicagoland one, there's a Northern Illinois, I've got Central and Southern Illinois, and I've got Indiana. So you won't all have to send the same one because, like I said, we want to remain relevant. We don't need to send Chicagoland information to people living in Springfield, right? So keep an eye out for those. And that means we're up to 24 touches already. And our last 4 touches are our quarterly calls. So if you are sending your neighborhood nurture, the monthly newsletter that I'll be providing every month, you can get that from your local tech trainers as well. So I will update it on that MAR Tech Hub that I showed you, and I will share it with our local tech trainers, and they can help you implement it. And then the next piece is our quarterly calls. So reach out to your clients 4 times a year just to check in. You can ask them real estate one time. You can ask them, how's life going? If you're not sure what to say, I like to start with the Ford conversation. Has anybody heard that before? Ford, F-O-R-D. I see some nods. Can somebody either come off mute or put in the chat, what is Ford? What does that mean? It's not the car company. Charisse put F is for family. That's right. F stands for family. Who knows what O stands for? Oh, what was that?
Occupation.
Occupation. That's correct. So family, occupation. What do we think R is? Oh, D got them all. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Family can also be friends and family. So if you're not sure what to talk to somebody about, just think of Ford and pick one of those topics and ask them what's going on in your life. Maybe go on social media, see what's been going on, and see, little Johnny had a concert the other day. Call him up, ask him how it was. Susie graduated high school, congratulate them. See what else is going on in their life. Use that as an opener. So they're not as scary. I know a lot of people are scared of calls. A lot of people love the phone, but if you're scared of calls, it doesn't have to be a call. It can be a text, 2-way conversation. You want to have a 2-way conversation with them. But people love to hear from you. They want to talk about their lives and their family and their dreams. Dee said stock Facebook. That's a good way to have knowledge about your contact. It sure is. But don't lose yourself in it. Don't spend too much time. Make sure that you're actually doing the activities. All right, so that's our first 28. I told you we'd get 28 touches right away. So this is a plug and play plan that's ready to go. This is one that you'll be getting from your tech trainers every month. And this is one that is a plan in the library, is a quarterly call system that you will get a task reminder once a quarter to call Jane Doe. And then you just have a forward conversation with them. Okay, now how do we go from 28 to 36? So MNN, that's the monthly neighborhood nurture newsletter and calls. If you like to do events, here's a suggestion here of doing 4 touches around events, doing 2 handwritten notes, and 2 social media touches. That quickly gets you to 36 touches a year. And to bump that up to 50, we can add birthday, anniversary, and your holiday touches. So Cherie mentioned earlier doing like spring, summer emails. There's 12 months. There's typically a holiday you can celebrate each month. Most, even if it's not an official one, there's typically like a national or international day of XYZ. Now, while I don't want you to send those where it's just daylight savings time, remember we need to keep them relevant and valuable. So I do love the idea of centralizing a touch around a holiday. However, make sure you're being purposeful. Make sure you have what's called a MOFR in it. Is anybody familiar with that term, MOFR? I'm going to put it in the chat. MOFIR is MOFR. That stands for make offer for immediate response. Give them a strong call to action. So if you're talking about something like we're doing with the July fireworks, so that is a seasonal holiday touch, but it's not just happy 4th of July. It's giving them some value. It's giving them a location they can go to see where the fireworks are in their area. In this month's email, I actually put in some links to Amazon so they could get some fun swag, glow sticks, you know, tattoos, stuff to celebrate, you know, celebrate with and share with the kids. That is a lot different than just sending an email that says happy 4th of July. You guys see the difference there? See some head nods? Okay. I don't know about you, but I get tons of emails from Old Navy, restaurants, other stores, right? And on holidays, my inbox is just like flooded with happy holiday, happy 4th of July, right? And I'm like, sale, sale, sale. I don't care about that. I just delete them all. But if I get an email a week or 2 before the 4th of July with information about where I can go see fireworks or the best fireworks shows, that I'm probably going to open and look at. And then I'll see, oh, Margarita sent it to me. Now she's top of my mind. And I might reach out and be like, hey, thanks so much. That was amazing. This really helped me and my family plan what we're going to go do. So that's my little soapbox for the holiday, the bonus holiday touches there. Questions about any of this? Awesome. You guys have been great. I want to do a little exercise together. So I mentioned that at the beginning of class that this is actually a series that I'm doing. So today is all about laying the foundation. If you would like to dig into newsletters specifically, I'll be covering that next month. So this QR code is for the registration for that. And what I wanted to work on together is we've actually talked about tons of different ways that we can build some touches. Now, we talked about events being 4 touches, social media 2, birthday 1, home anniversary 1. You could have several touches around one event. So if you end up doing multiple events, that's going to multiply your event touches. Your birthday, that could be a call, a text, social media, a card, an email. There's 5 touches right there. I mean, that's a lot. Maybe I wouldn't do all of them, but there's different ways to touch around the birthday. So I would love for you to take a couple minutes and think about it and put in the chat, what would your ideal 36 touch consist of? So just start putting in there, if you had to come up with 36 touches in 1 minute, what would you include in it? I should have had Jeopardy music ready to go. I'm gonna put mine in there. Oh, I see. We've got some coming in. Events and more events, Heather. Martha, newsletter, holiday, note card, monthly neighborhood nurture. Martha, what do you put in your note cards?
To send out note cards, like, just to even, just for anything, either whether it's a thank you or just a hello, or if I bumped into them, it was nice seeing you, or if I see them at somewhere, a wedding or
Yeah,
whatnot.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
great. People love getting mail that's not a bill or junk mail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes them feel special.
Yeah.
Ooh, D put home tips. That's another good one. Florence, social media, phone call.
But all these that you're talking about, I'll have to add.
Well, and that's why today is the foundation. You're in the right spot. So we got to think
Yeah.
through what are all the different things we can do.
Good stuff.
All right, I think I just put 36 if I can count right. So I did 12 neighborhood nurtures, 12 local value emails, 4 texts or calls throughout the year, 2 touches on their birthday, because I'm going to do a social media one and I'm going to reach out to them directly, whether it's phone, text, or direct message. Thinking of you notes throughout the year, handwritten notes in the mail, and then 2 home anniversary touches because I want to celebrate them again on social and a direct touch. And then let's see, we have neighborhood, newsletter, birthday, calls, social. You see, all of these are a little different because we're all different and our clients and contacts and databases are all a little different. And that's okay. There is no one answer to the 36 touch. And honestly, the new MREA book is about to move that up to 72 touches. So this is a really good foundation and we will just build it from there. Heather, I want to call out your message here that says events and more events. So I know that Heather's part of her lead gen is either organizing or being part of events. And she does a really good job of having several touches around that. So she's helping to advertise the event ahead of time. She's connecting with the people if she's co-organizing it. She's making connections that way. She's taking pictures or collecting stories during the event. And then she's also doing touches afterwards because she's putting a recap on social media or in an email newsletter. So an event is several touches. So if that is something that's part of your lead gen model, that is a great way to get a whole bunch of touches in without really doing much extra work. You might be doing it and you don't even realize you're doing it. Thank you guys all for the amazing ideas. All right, so today our objective was to understand what the multi-touch plan is and why it's so important in our business. Do you guys feel like you walked away with that? I see some head nods. Okay, great. And I promised you 28 touches that you could implement immediately and how we could easily get to 50 touches a year. I think we covered that. And then what do we get out of this? We know how to properly nurture our database because it has that potential to convert at a 6% conversion rate. So I would love to know, how much would 6% of your database yield you? Go ahead and put that in the chat or come off mute. And you can put dollars or you can put a number of deals. How much is 6% going to yield you from your database? D says 46.2 deals. Yes, Martha, good question. While you guys are doing that math, this is recorded. I do have a YouTube channel it will be going up on. I'm not going to tell you a date because I'm going out of town next week, but we'll get it up on the YouTube channel. 47 deals. That's huge. That's Dee and Margarita are like right hand in hand there. I like it. You guys should work together. Figure out how you're going to get those 47. 35. These are strong businesses. You guys have a lot of potential in your database. This is great. So this is the part where I'm going to ask you to participate one more time and let me know, what are some of your ahas? What do you want to implement today? What are you going to take home and do something with? Come off mute. Tell us what you learned. While you're doing that, I'm going to pull up my YouTube channel as well. I know somebody learned something. I hope we didn't just waste our time today. Who's going to implement something we talked about today, and what is it that you're going to implement? Oh, I see some stuff coming in the chat. Oh yeah, how many transactions you can earn with the people that you already have a connection with. That's great. Our database is our #1 go-to. I want to send out the newsletter. Awesome. Dee said this is a great recap. Thank you. Like I said, we will dig in. This was meant to be a foundational class, so my future classes will absolutely go into more specifics. Next month, we'll be talking about newsletters, so we'll do a deep dive on that. And Heather said, I'm going to plan my next event. I love it. Amanda said, send out the newsletters you created. Perfect. I went ahead and I put my YouTube channel in the chat as well. And that will also be on that tech hub that I pulled up earlier, which I'll put in the chat one more time. And I've also just put it on the screen with the QR code. So here is my YouTube channel and the QR code to the MAR Tech Hub, the Mid-American Region Tech Hub. Oh, Florence said she's going to do that monthly neighborhood nurture. Great. And can I ask you guys, how did you hear about the class today? Feel free to come off mute or put it in the chat. How did you find out about it? Dee said email. Dee, was that the Tech Stack email? Facebook for Thomas? Okay, great.
I think it was in the events portal.
Oh, you found it from your market center.
I think so. I was trying to look for so
Awesome.
many things that I'm pretty sure that's where it was. If not, email then.
Well, this is my first official class as the regional tech trainer. So I'm just curious, like how's the word getting out? How do we grow our classes? So I'm glad to hear lots of different ways it's getting out there. I appreciate you sharing that. And I have on my screen right here an example of the Tech Stack Weekly. So you guys should all be getting this email. And it's going to have different things in it each week, maybe a tech update or a story, but it will have all of my classes that are upcoming. So my goal is to lead one a month and also co-host with a guest speaker. So in July, we have Sam Jackson coming virtually. And then it'll also have all of our in-person regional events listed. And you'll be able to see our recordings from our previous classes here as well. And you can get to the Tech Hub or my YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for that. We'll just do one a week with what's coming up. Go ahead, Sharice.
Amy, question. What you
Absolutely.
just showed us, like that we're all like it looked like a newsletter. Is that the newsletter you're referring to, or is that a different one platform?
So that's the newsletter we send out from the region every month or every week, excuse
Okay.
me. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, like the actual platform like that you guys use for that. Is that the
Oh, they just use MailChimp for it.
MailChimp?
I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
We'll probably move it into Command now that have a say in it.
Okay.
But currently they're using MailChimp.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I have a question. I'm actually the marketing person in our market center.
Awesome.
2 marketing centers. So I make the newsletters. I do a lot of marketing for a lot of our agents.
Yeah.
And my OP is the one who sent me the last email with the classes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm constantly trying to stay like on top of what's working for people. And since I'm not an active agent,
Mm-hmm.
how do I get the emails?
You should, if you are a KW associate, meaning you have a command account and a KW UID, our team pulls the roster from the KW reports every week. Or what, I should not say that. Once a month we'll pull it. So if you have not seen it, 1, check your spam, and 2, you'll also want to make sure that you're checking what your KW communications email is. And that is the place that newsletter should be going to.
Okay.
So if you're not seeing it, connect with your tech trainer and they can get in touch with me and we can get it figured out.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, it's 11:50 my time. I know the class is supposed to go till noon. I'm going to stop recording.